Have you ever felt stuck in your own mind? Like you want to change your life, but the moment you try, the fatigue, the doubt, the old habits pull you right back? Maybe you've been through stress, rejection, burnout, or moments where your self-worth felt shaken. And deep inside, you wonder, why can't I stay consistent? Why can't I build the discipline I know I need? Today's message is about the mindset shift that makes you unstoppable, the shift that helps you build discipline that lasts. Not the discipline of forcing yourself, but the discipline that comes from inner peace, clarity, and purpose. The kind that helps you rise even on the days when life feels heavy. So take a breath, and let's unpack this together. Most people wait for the perfect moment to change their lives, the right mood, the right energy, the right level of motivation. But that moment rarely arrives. Life is messy. You're tired, stressed, dealing with responsibilities, or carrying emotional weight from the past. If you've ever caught yourself thinking, "I'll start when I feel ready," pause and ask yourself, has that moment ever truly come? Discipline begins when you stop negotiating with your feelings and start honoring your values. You don't need the perfect mindset, you need a small act of courage. When you remove the pressure to feel amazing before taking action, your heart softens, your mind becomes clearer, and you finally allow yourself to grow without demanding emotional perfection first. Many people believe failure is a personal flaw, a sign that they're not good enough or not built for consistency. But every meaningful journey includes setbacks, pauses, and days where you don't show up the way you hoped. Instead of labeling yourself, look at what failure is teaching you. What pattern is it exposing? What habit is it asking you to refine? When you view failure as essential feedback rather than a reason to quit, your self-worth stays intact. You start practicing gentleness instead of shame. This shift makes discipline sustainable, because you are learning with patience instead of punishing yourself for being human. A lot of people speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to someone they care about. They call themselves lazy, weak, undisciplined, or hopeless. That inner voice becomes a constant background noise that slowly destroys confidence and emotional stability. Harsh self-talk doesn't build discipline, it breaks the spirit that discipline depends on. Honest accountability, however, does the opposite. It lets you acknowledge mistakes without turning them into an identity. Instead of saying, "I failed again," try asking, "What caused me to slip, and what's the smallest correction I can make today?" This approach keeps you grounded and realistic. It reminds you that you're a human being with limits, emotions, and needs, not a machine. When you shift from self-blame to self-respect, you build a stronger internal foundation. And from that stable place, discipline becomes something you choose, not something you force upon yourself. Overthinking, emotional noise, and the constant pull of stress drain a huge amount of mental energy long before the day even begins. Many people don't realize how much discipline is lost simply because their mind is overloaded. Boundaries are not cold or rigid. They are a form of clarity that protects your emotional space. When you set limits on what enters your mind, screen time, draining conversations, chaotic routines, you create room for peace. Protecting your mornings can completely change your day. Starting with a quiet moment, a short reflection, or even 5 minutes of stillness helps reset your nervous system. It makes you more grounded and less reactive. Boundaries also reduce decision fatigue, which is one of the biggest enemies of consistency. When your mind feels light and uncluttered, discipline no longer feels like a battle. It becomes a natural extension of inner calm. A lot of people assume discipline is built through massive effort, waking up at 5 a.m., running miles, reading for hours, completing huge routines every single day. But real transformation rarely begins with large, dramatic steps. It begins with the small, almost invisible actions that seem too simple to matter. 5 minutes of stretching. A short walk. Writing one sentence. Cleaning one corner of the room. These tiny actions are powerful because they bypass resistance. Your brain doesn't feel threatened or overwhelmed. And when repeated daily, they create a sense of reliability within you. Small commitments rebuild trust in your intention, your consistency, and your ability to rise again after setbacks. Those little wins compound over time, reshaping your identity from the inside. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, even in small ways. Relying on willpower alone is one of the biggest reasons people fail to stay consistent. Willpower is unstable, it changes with stress, mood, sleep, and the chaos of daily life. But identity is stronger. When you tell yourself, "I am someone who keeps promises to myself," you activate a deeper part of your character. Actions then flow from who you believe you are. Instead of forcing discipline, you embody it. The shift is subtle but life-changing. Discipline becomes less about pushing yourself and more about honoring yourself. You start choosing habits that align with your values, not your impulses. This identity-based approach also brings emotional stability. You don't fall apart when you slip, because a single setback doesn't erase who you are. It simply becomes a moment to realign. When discipline is rooted in identity instead of willpower, it becomes steadier, calmer, and far more sustainable. One of the biggest barriers to long-term discipline is the all-or-nothing mindset. Many people believe that if they miss one day, one workout, one journaling session, or one good habit, then the whole effort is ruined. This thinking destroys consistency more than any external obstacle. Life is unpredictable. Stress, work pressure, emotional shifts, and unexpected responsibilities can interrupt even the best routines. The goal isn't perfection, it's recovery. The real measure of discipline is not how perfectly you follow a routine, but how quickly you return to it after you slip. When you remove the harsh judgment around mistakes, you free yourself to keep going. Restarting becomes easier, gentler, and more natural. You stop treating progress like a fragile glass and start treating it like a steady journey. This mindset helps you stay disciplined without fear or shame weighing you down. Discipline becomes powerful and lasting when it is rooted in something deeper than productivity or self-improvement. When your actions come from a higher purpose, becoming a better human being, contributing positively, building patience, developing resilience, strengthening your character, then discipline stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a calling. Ask yourself what kind of person you want to be in the long run. Someone calm? Someone reliable? Someone who carries themselves with dignity? These kinds of intentions bring emotional clarity and help you rise above temporary discouragement. Even on difficult days, your why reminds you that your effort matters. When discipline is connected to purpose, your heart stays steady and your mind remains focused. You are no longer just grinding through tasks, you are shaping your character with intention and meaning. So remember this, the mindset shift that makes you unstoppable isn't intensity, it's consistency born from compassion, purpose, and clear boundaries. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to rise one more time than you fall. If this message spoke to your heart today, share your thoughts below. How are you healing, growing, or rebuilding discipline right now? Your journey matters. Your strength matters. And every step you take is shaping a stronger, calmer, more grounded version of you. Stay disciplined. Stay patient. Stay hopeful. You're becoming unstoppable, one quiet step at a time.